We have been invaded from within and from without. The Democrat Party is the party of what? Tell me what it stands for. Non-citizens invading America, non-citizens voting, non-citizens stealing our welfare, non-citizens destroying our health care, non-citizens destroying our school system. This is the final moment for the Trump administration, by the way. If he succeeds in stopping this horde coming in through Honduras, through Guatemala, through Mexico, if he succeeds, he will be the greatest president of our time. If he accedes to those liberals around him within his own administration and caves in and goes on and talks about something else, it's the end of his presidency and the end of America. We see the hordes at the border. We all look with our own eyes at all the pictures. Very cleverly, the Catholic Church and the other charities whose business is failing because their churches are emptying out, and never forget the billions of dollars they make in providing housing, medication, education, legal services. They make billions of dollars a year. Baptist Family Services, Catholic charities, Jewish charities, they're all in on the racket. Make no mistake about it. This is the seminal battle of our time. Trump won for one reason. He didn't win because he was a mean guy. He didn't win because he was a nice guy. He won because he had a forceful message, which said, I will stop the immigrants. I will close the borders. I will focus especially on Muslims coming from countries connected to terrorism. And we all came out to vote for him. So far, not one brick has been laid for the wall. All we hear is lock her up. Oh, we've got some good things so far, but not the wall. The Republicans do not want the wall. The Democrat Party does not want the wall. The Republican Party does not want the wall. They want business as usual. They want the illegal aliens here for the reasons you can figure out. From the Democrats, it's the vote. For the Republicans, it's the business associated with it. And, of course, I'm sorry to tell you, there's an awful lot of contraband that comes in with immigrants. You don't want to hear it. Because the public relation firm that is behind this, working with George Soros and the others, the PR firm very cleverly puts a young woman with a baby in the front of a mob of thousands of young men of military age in perfectly clean clothing. They're wearing watches. They're wearing gold crosses. They're wearing new sneakers, most of them. They look really healthy and happy to me. They're not coming here for economic advantage as much as they are to take advantage of our economics. Write that one down. We keep hearing they're coming here because they want a better life. Well, that's very nice. What about the poor Americans? Are they entitled to a better life? What about all the poor whites who are strung out on drugs because they've been pushed out of the workplace and their pride has been stolen from them? Why don't we focus on the white pride that has been stolen by the groups in this country who you know hate white men? You want to go down the list? Am I allowed to talk about it? I will talk about it whether I'm allowed to or not, because we're living through an invasion, and it is orchestrated. A group of people of this size does not mobilize without funding and organization. Just in time for the midterms, here's another quote, spontaneous group coming in from Central America. Spontaneous, right? Well, is it spontaneous? Who is funding the migrant caravan? Do you know how much it costs to bring each one of these people over to this country? About $7,000 each. What is the per capita income in Honduras? $2,300 a year. So where'd the money come from? Where'd it come from? Who's sending them the money? Where did it come from? Well, we've traced it for you. It's not a mystery. You can pretty much say it. It's a word that begins with an S and ends with an S, and it's 5 letters. Leftist billionaire and all-around America hater and Trump hater, George Soros, is clearly, in the minds of those who have studied this, funding this. There are also American ultra-leftist foundations and corporations supporting this open borders policy. You want the names? Coalition called CARA, Family Detention Pro Bono Project. And who are they? Catholic Legal Immigration Network. Who are they? Catholic Legal Immigration Network. Refugee and Immigration Center for Education and Legal Services. American Immigration Lawyers Association. You know the lawyers? All the good liberal lawyers from New York? The lawyers? 3 of the 4 groups that I just mentioned are funded by the George Soros's Open Society Foundation. So, my friends, there's a leader as well of this group of invaders. And what is the oppression that they're allegedly fleeing from? What's the oppression in Honduras that they're running from? Well, the answer is according to my knowledge, remittances. What does remittances mean? That's the money sent home by so-called illegals who've come here already and pay no taxes and work or scam or bring in drugs and send money home to them. This asylum scam and open borders and free cities and things of that nature is all about money. So something's happened here, and the remittances from America are the main engine of support for the country of Honduras. The remittances sent back from America to Honduras comprise 17% of Honduras's gross domestic product in 2011, according to World Bank estimates. The second largest share of any country in Latin America or the Caribbean. You want to hear more about it? Daniel John Sobieski wrote this great article on American Thinker, Illegal Caravans Encouraged by Honduras and Soros. You've got to read this article. Now, you got to ask yourself, where is the American black leadership on this? Where are the American blacks who speak for the poor black people in America? Tell me where. Where are they? Where are all of the loudmouths like, well, who are the black leaders? Well, you got Louis Farrakhan, who hates Jews. He's busy on his latest anti-Semitic tirade. He's not concerned about the illegal immigration. Who are the leaders of the African-American community who are standing silently by while the bottom of the nation is being invaded and the services that should go to America's poor black and white together are going to non-citizens? Tell me where the black leadership is. Where's Al Big Mouth the Shark Sharpton? Where's the irrelevant Jesse Jackson who's disappeared from the landscape? No, not seen anymore. Seems like he's run out of steam. Where are they? Now, what are we going to do about this is the question. We know who's doing it to us. The part that got me really angry was hearing them singing their national anthem and waving their Honduran flags. It bothered me deeply because here in America, when have you last heard your national anthem? When have you last seen your flag being waved? You go to a boxing match, and what do you see? Mexican flags, Honduran flags, El Salvadoran flags, because they're great boxers, and I admire their fighting spirit. They're great warriors, and I admire that. But they're in my country. I never want to hear a foreign national anthem played in this nation again. I don't want to hear it. It gets me sick. If I'm in a sporting event, I only want to hear the U.S. national anthem. That's how I feel. And I'll tell you something else. If this keeps up, there's going to be a revolution in this country. It'll be the second American Revolution, not the second Civil War. Remember, I've been telling you, stop the coming Civil War? My most recent book is Stop the Mass Hysteria. I am telling you, if this keeps up, and if Trump doesn't stop it, there will be a second American Revolution, because the people have had it not up to here. We're drowning in illegal aliens. We're drowning in them. We're drowning in the lies of the Chuck Schumers and the Nancy Pelosi's, these elitist millionaires and billionaires who make believe that they care about the poor from these countries. But what goes around comes around. I tried to stop the mass hysteria, didn't I? I tried to warn Pelosi to shut her big mouth and stop stirring up hatred, because I said it's going to come around to bite you. And guess what? It happened to her in Florida. A group came and mobbed her. She had to run away screaming with her security guards. I tried to warn these leftists there's going to be blowback. What goes around comes around. I said, Nancy Pelosi, shame on you. Shame on you with your big mouth. Remember what I said many times. Read the Bible. You have sought the wind, and you will reap the whirlwind. But it goes for all of us in this great nation. I am an immigrant son. That gives me a very special position in the American media. There aren't too many like me who's made it to the position I'm in. I can't name of one in radio who has. Can you name one? I don't know, and I'm not here to put them down. I don't really care where they come from, but I know this. None of them have the immigration experience that I do. I'm a first-generation American. I have one foot in the old world, one foot in the new world. I can see both sides. I know what poverty is. I know how desperate people can be. But I also know that a host country has only so many resources. And with all the vast amounts of poor people in this country, can we really afford to take in all of the poor of the world? Of course we can't. Go tell that to the Pope. Go tell that to Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein and Chuck Schumer and Governor Cuomo and Governor Brown, all of whom would not be in office were it not for the votes of people who don't even belong in this country. I stand by those words. All of these left-wing politicians have fought against voter identification at the polls. Why? Why? You put 2 and 2 together. You will come up with 5.